This video is from Ajit Kumar Nair, rehabilitation professional, Nair's Epigenetic Wellness, Indore. Picture a mother and her son at the dinner table. It's a normal evening, until the mother crunches a single potato chip. For her son, that sound isn't just a noise, it's a sudden, jarring disruption that sets off an intense reaction. He is stuck in a rewind button glitch. He reaches across the table, demanding she spit the food out and start from the beginning. To keep the peace and avoid a major meltdown, the mother does the most natural thing a parent can do. She complies. She spits out the food and starts over, hoping that hitting the reset button will calm things down. This happens because the son's brain is hitting a sensory wall. It feels a sudden loss of control, and it's frantically trying to fix the environment. It isn't a choice. It's a compulsive loop that makes him feel like the world won't be right until that sound is undone. Every time the mother follows the demand, the brain gets what it's looking for. This accidentally tells the nervous system that the compulsion works, which makes the loop even stronger and harder to resist the next time it's triggered. Breaking this cycle is a major challenge for any family. It requires the parents to move away from these quick, temporary fixes and follow a specific, step-by-step clinical plan designed to help the son's brain learn a new way to process these moments. You can't stop a deep-seated behavior just by telling someone to stop. The first step is to act like a detective. Parents spend a week or two tracking exactly what happens during these meltdowns to find the patterns hidden in the noise. This tracking uses a framework called the ABC log. A stands for antecedent, which is just a technical word for the spark. It's the exact sound or event that happened a split second before, like the mother biting that crunchy chip in a quiet room. B is for behavior. This is where parents write down the exact action, whether he's yelling, grabbing at her face, or demanding a do-over. Finally, C is the consequence. This records what happens immediately after the behavior. Usually, it shows how the loop is being completed, which helps the clinical team see exactly how the brain is getting its reward. Once the pattern is clear, the family sets a visual rule. They use a simple card like this one. They review it when the son is completely calm, long before the meal starts, so he knows the boundary before any stress begins. The family also prepares the environment with sensory buffers. If the crunching sound is the spark, he might wear noise-canceling headphones. Or they might give him a tactile fidget toy to squeeze, giving his hands a safe way to release that restart energy. Using logs and buffers, the dinner table is no longer a place of unpredictable stress.
It becomes a prepared space where everyone knows the rules and has the tools they need to stay calm. The actual turning point happens during response prevention. That's the clinical way of saying the mother finally stops following the script. This is the moment she completely stops complying with the demand to spit out her food. The second he demands a restart, she performs a neutral refusal. She stops chewing, covers her mouth, and looks away to keep the interaction low energy. In a flat, robotic voice, she says one thing: "No, my food stays in my mouth." This refusal triggers something called an extinction burst. Think of it as a final, desperate surge. When his brain doesn't get the result it expects, the behavior is going to spike sharply. Things will get much louder and more intense before they get better. This happens because the brain is essentially screaming, trying much harder to force the mother to give in like she used to. It's a sign that the old habit is being challenged, but it is the most difficult moment for any parent to endure. If he tries to reach for her mouth, she uses a physical block. She stands up, steps back out of reach, and crosses her arms. She doesn't argue or engage in a struggle. She simply moves herself to a safe distance until things calm down. If a meltdown follows, the focus is purely on safety. The parents don't talk, negotiate, or provide comfort during the height of the episode. Even well-meaning attention can accidentally tell the brain that a meltdown is a successful way to get a reaction. Staying firm through this burst is the ultimate test. If parents give in while the behavior is at its peak, the brain learns that an intense meltdown is the most effective way to force results, making the loop even more difficult to break later. But if the parents hold that boundary, the surge eventually fades. The breakthrough happens when he makes the demand, the mother says no, and he manages to tolerate it, even if it's only for a few seconds without escalating.
The moment he stays calm, the mother must provide immediate praise. She tells him clearly, "Thank you for letting me finish my food. I appreciate you giving me space." This instant recognition starts to rewire the neurological loop. It replaces the old stressful expectation with a new sense of achievement. The brain begins to learn that staying calm and respecting a boundary leads to a much better outcome. It starts with tracking the sparks, setting clear visual rules, and standing firm through the storm until the new, calmer habit takes root. Stopping a severe compulsion isn't just about punishment or control. It's about creating a predictable world with calm, unbreakable boundaries so that the person inside the loop can finally feel safe enough to let go. Thank you for watching Ajit Kumar Nair, Rehabilitation Professional, Nair's Epigenetic Wellness, Indoor.